Viewers, thank you for joining us on India Upfront. The revered institution of Tirupati temple, a beacon of hope and spirituality for millions, has been desecrated. The shocking revelation that animal fat, including fish oil, beef tallow, and lard, that is pig fat, could have been used to make prasadam under the Jagan rule is a reprehensible act of sacrilege. Viewers, the sentiments of crores of devotees have been callously trampled upon, leaving an indelible scar on the collective Hindu psyche. Just imagine, viewers, how can the faithful now trust that the prasadam offered to them is pure and untainted? The very foundation of their devotion has been shaken. The prasadam, once a symbol of divine blessings, has been reduced to a potentially polluted offering. Will devotees now have to suffer the agony of doubt, questioning the sanctity of every ritual, every morsel, Viewers, this heinous act is an affront to the sacred traditions of the faith. Those behind this act have displayed a blatant disregard for the faith and the sentiments of millions. This controversy is a symptom of a larger problem, viewers, the undue interference of the state governments in the administration of Hindu temples. This egregious act makes a compelling case to free Hindu temples. Government interference has led to rampant corruption, mismanagement, and commercialization of these sacred institutions. The fact that temple funds are being diverted to purposes other than Hindu welfare is a complete travesty.
Tirumala, laddoo kuda, nasi rakam, nakaithe ఆశ్చర్యం వేస్తుంది. ఎన్ని కంప్లైంట్ చేసినా కడాన వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి పవిత్రతను దెబ్బతీశారు. ఎన్నోసార్లు చెప్పాము. అక్కడ ఎంత దుర్మార్గంగా ప్రయత్నం చేశారంటే అంత దుర్మార్గంగా ప్రవర్తించారు. కడాన అన్న దానంలో క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ లేకుండా చేశారు. దేవుని దగ్గర పెట్టే ప్రసాదం అపవిత్రం చేసే విధంగా ఓసారి బాధేస్తుంది. నాసి రకమైన ఇంగ్రీడియంట్సే కాకుండా ఎనిమల్ ఫ్యాట్ కూడా వాడారని, ఏది గీకు బదులు.
They have clearly stated lard, point number 4. Point number 1, fish oil. Point number 3, beef tallow. What is lard? Lard is nothing but animal fat. My point, it's not only beef. It is these animals which have been killed, which where there's a big racket going on in South India, where dog meat is supplied. Even dog meat has been used, is our contention now.
Baseless allegations, shocking allegations, like saying that in TTD, while YCP is in governance, they have damaged the decorum and sanctity of the Tirupati Devasthanam.
एक पापी मुख्यमंत्री ने हमारे मंदिर को अपवित्र करने का षड्यंत्र किया गया। तो इसलिए मैं मोदी जी से, अमित शाह जी से, खास करके मुख्यमंत्री जी जो चंद्रबाबू नायडू जी हैं, उनसे निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि इसके षड्यंत्र को पब्लिक के सामने लेकर आए और ऐसे व्यक्ति को तुरंत अरेस्ट करे। यहाँ मैं निवेदन करना चाहता हूँ.
Very serious thing, and we can't. Lord Venkateswara is believers of Lord Venkateswara always have greater faith in the system which was running the Devasthanam, and if Jagan and the gang around Jagan has done these kind of things, the serious investigation is needed, and those people involved must be punished.
Let's open this up. Joining us is J. Sai Deepak. Needs no introduction. Sai, good evening. Thank you for your time. We have to put this in context for our viewers. So I want to begin by asking you, what do you make of this disclosure?
So during the tenure of Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, I think it was public knowledge. I don't think it was even a secret that proselytization was heavily supported by the establishment under his rule. To the extent that there were ministers from his cabinet who have made public statements to the effect that at least 20 to 25% of the population stood converted to Christianity. And there are several videos available of, I would say, freelance pastors and missionaries constantly roaming the streets, hoping to get converts and hoping to harvest souls on a daily basis. Cross-plantation took place across the board. If you were to look at the sacred hill of Tirumala, this was rampant. Forget just Tirumala, you can even go to Vijayawada. I've traveled often to that place during this period to see the visible change in the character and culture of the place and the state-sponsored attempts to change the identity and the demographic balance of the place. So I'm not particularly surprised at what has happened in Tirupati. I would just be surprised if this is merely milked for political benefit by any party without taking action. And this reinforces my central theme that not just under the Jagan government, under no government are Hindu temples safe. And I think on this issue, I've said enough, that just as any other community has the right to free its religious institutions from the clutches of any government, regardless of the party in power, Hindus certainly have the right to expect the same treatment. And when we know for a fact that this is the extent of, I'd say, interference, not just interference, deliberate mischief that any party or any government is capable of playing with the sentiments of Hindus, I see no reason to take a partisan position here. Instead, I'll take the very clear position I've always taken. Government must free our temples of control, and they must leave it to the devotees to manage their institutions. Just as other communities can manage their institutions, Hindus can do it as well.
Well said. In fact, I began by underlining the point that this case makes it even more compelling. The argument to free our temples from state control, and I agree with you completely when you say that this is not just limited to this state or this temple. But Sai, while the governments will do what they have to do, what should the devotees do?
See, frankly speaking, people should at least draw some lessons. I'm sorry, but I have to step into the realm of politics to make the statement here that you must try and support those establishments or outfits which come closest to your ideals and to your identity. I don't think there is any party that is completely ideal, but nevertheless, I think people must use the cards that are on the table. Number two, the society must take an active position against this, and they should not end up in just another social media outrage cycle. They must put pressure on the central government to address this issue in one stroke. Otherwise, in every state, we'll be looking at multiple rounds of litigation. I've said this before. I am not the first person to make this statement. All issues relating to religious temples and other religious institutions and endowment issues fall within entry 28 of the concurrent list, which means the union government equally has the power to interfere with this particular issue and set the house in order across the country, as opposed to having to deal with it state by state. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves in a situation where if the Congress is in power in a particular state, then suddenly we'll start talking about freedom of temples in that particular state while ignoring what's happening to temples in other states. Okay, this cannot be the way in which this issue is addressed. If you're concerned about the community interest, then we must place community's interest over and above any organizational interest. And therefore, I am of the clear view that as opposed to reducing this particular issue to a situation where people score brownie points by taking political pot shots at one another, the fact of the matter is it is Hindu interest at stake. And therefore, anything and everything that can be done to set the house in order across the board, not just in one particular state, must be done. But Andhra Pradesh certainly needs a serious look, because for all these years, people have been focusing on only state control of temples in Tamil Nadu and the rampant proselytization attempts in Tamil Nadu with the support of the current establishment there. But this has been going on in Andhra Pradesh for several years. Before Jagan, it was his father, Mr. Rajshekar Reddy, who did the very same thing. Cross-plantation on Tirumala started under Mr. Rajshekar Reddy's tenure. And then these efforts have been doubled down. These efforts have been doubled up. And there are several districts in coastal Andhra where the demographic balance has been completely altered to Hindu detriment.
Now, Sai, I was going through the commentary on social media, and many people have compared this to what the Britishers did by adding animal fat in cartridge.
See, I think when the British man does it, I expect it, because that was a stated intent. But today, what is being pushed in the name of secularism is anti-Hinduism. Whether people agree with me or not, that's a different issue. But in practice, that is how secularism has worked out, where the state establishment takes a position that it is equidistant from all faiths. But it is not equidistant from the Hindu establishment when it comes to interference with our religious institutions. And it is not equidistant from other communities when it comes to extending benefits to them. So equidistance, as is expected in a secular country, I don't think has worked out to the benefit or advantage of Hindus. It's not even worked out, according to me, on just and fair lines. So maybe there are some fundamental issues with respect to our so-called principles of constitutional morality that must be revisited. But nevertheless, I do believe that this is yet another instance which showcases the fact that we are 8th grade citizens or 8th class citizens, to put it in the language of Anand Ranganathan, in our own country. And two, please remember that Tirumala has been the subject of repeated attacks under Jagan, where the fact of the matter is the temple board, the TTD, was populated with either Christians or openly practicing Christians. And we were being told that what is wrong with it.
Now, Sai, before we let you go, my final question to you is this. I have a report by the National Dairy Development Board, and among other things, it says fish oil, beef tallow, lard, which is pig fat. Now, as a lawyer, what should the state do to build a case so that an example is set, so that this is never repeated? A larger message goes out that this is not an ordinary case of adulteration.
Initiate criminal proceedings against the members of the TTD under whose tenure this happened. And if there is someone who signed off on this directly, that person must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for hurting Hindu sentiments under provisions which deal with causing hurt to religious sentiments. That must happen. In addition to that, they must be prosecuted further, according to me, for having indulged in bad faith conduct while occupying a position in which they are expected to have at least the minimum amount of fiduciary duty to the community to which this institution belongs, which is the Hindu community. I say this over and over again. If you take a look at the Andhra Pradesh HRC Act, there is a separate chapter that deals with the constitution of the board for the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam.
Right.
And each of those positions are state-appointed positions. It's not as if the community has a say. So for all practical purposes, if you really want to take a look at what is the textbook definition of state control of Hindu temples, take a look at the legislation that deals with the constitution of the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. Take a look at the definition or the manner in which Jagannath Puri is controlled by legislations there. Everyone is a state appointee, or at the very least, the state has the final say and veto with respect to every decision, religious and financial.
Right. Sai, thank you for putting that in context. Always a pleasure to speak to you. We'll let you go. Viewers, that was Sai Deepak. Let's quickly open this up. Rahul Ishwar, Dushyant Sridhar, Karan Verma, Deepak Reddy, National Spokesperson of the TDP, Konda Rajiv Gandhi, Spokesperson of the YSRCP, Vivek Srivastav completes the panel. Gentlemen, good evening. Konda Rajiv Gandhi, the Jagan administration or the previous Jagan dispensation is accused of this serious charge that under your rule, animal fat was added to the prasadam.
Well, a warm good evening. Well, today it's astonishing for me. There is a report on your screen, but before quoting or representing as a spokesperson of YSR Congress party, well, primarily I'm a Hindu and I am a devotee of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Sri Venkateswara Swami Varu. As a devotee, I have few questions. Question number one, as you said, the report was given by National Dairy Development. Okay, I want to ask some few questions in that one. Did they tested laddoos or did they tested ghee? When did they test it? When the sample was taken and when the result was given and when the result was exposed to the media? When coming to the report which is being shown on your screen, as I'm gone through it, I came to know that the sample was collected on July 8th of 2024. But the thing is, our Jagan Mohan Reddy sir resume completed on June 4, 2024. We have handed over charge to the new government, and the samples were taken under the administration of the new government, which is being led by Chandrababu Naidu. So they have to answer and they should be responsible for this. Point number one. Coming to the point number two.
1 minute. I'll tell you the problem with point number one. Ghee samples were taken. Ghee samples.
When?
In July.
On which date?
July.
July of date. So our resume completed on June 4, 2024 only. So the samples were taken under the administration of the new government.
Let's bring in Mr. Deepak Reddy of the TDP. Rahul Ishwar, I'll bring you in. Let's have all our panelists on stream. Yes, Mr. Deepak Reddy.
Pranesh, I need a minute to lay down the facts so that the people understand, because YCP is totally rattled and they're coming out with, crazy type of allegations and wording. I would like you to have everybody to have a look at this particular document. This was actually a press report about 4-5 years ago by Karnataka Milk Federation, the head. They were the ones who were supplying ghee for 50 years to Tirupati with respect for the Lord at no profit basis. But once this government came in, they got rid of them and got in mediators and traders and called for a tender. So I would like you again to get everybody to this also. This is official TTD webpage where it clearly says the testing was done, the rechecking was done, a show cause notice was issued, and one of the vendor was also blacklisted. And today's newspaper cutting, preliminary inquiry says 520 crores of theft by the previous government. Similarly, now they talk about all sorts of things. This is something which came out from the vigilance inquiry of the TTD. Chandrababu Naidu ji went there a month ago and inquired and ordered that everything has to be done in a perfect manner. If there are any irregularities, they have to be cleared, and the sanctity of the temple has to be protected. After that, this inquiry was done, and it was found. So it is very clear that the earlier government has actually changed vendors who were supplying for 50 years. For what reason?
And change the vendors with ulterior motive. That's the charge.
Is from a government body.
Right. Dushyant Sridhar, what do you make of this? I mean, just the fact that, we are not sure of the purity of the prasadam which is being given to us, and it is, by the way, it is also offered to the deity before it is given to the devotees.
Pranesh, namaskaram. There is a verse that talks about the greatness of Tirumala. Prapadyetam girim prayaha Srinivasa anukampaya ikshusara shravantyeva yenmurtya sharkarayitam. To Hindus, to Astikas, the very hill of Tirumala is worshipable. The very Devata that stands is revered from the Rigveda to the Alvars, to Ramanuja, to Vedanta Deshika. And I remember my acharyas telling that when they go atop the hill, they wouldn't even drink water and eat food because they have to excrete. That is how sacred the Tirumala hill is to us. And today we are discussing that there is beef and there is fish oil. I do not know what else is left. 2 weeks back, it was the Tiruchendurai temple in Tamil Nadu which was called Waqf Board. This week we are saying that the prasadam in Tirumala is contaminated. What do Hindus have left for us? What do Hindus have? What is the business of a government to be in temples? What is the very business of government to be in temples, and why is this happening? And I do not know if people from other communities are involved or people from the very Hindu community have been made Trojans here to do this, because no person with good consciousness and good devotion and goodwill towards the citizens of the country and to the Hindus of this country would ever engage in such an act. This is really saddening, and I do not know the temple that follows the great Vaikhanasa Agama for millenniums of years. I do not know, Pranesh. I'm extremely upset. I was shattered to see the report, and I was just in Tirumala a week back, and people come there throng seeing that this prasadam is of Vaikhanasa Agamam served to the god. It is absolutely the delight to get Bhagavan's prasadam, and today what we are getting to see of fish oil and beef, it hurts a lot. I do not know what to say, Pranesh. I think Hindus just have one large country where they are supposed to be a majority. But looking at the state of affairs, Pranesh, day after day, week after week, when I come on Times Now for one debate after the other, Hindus have no place left.
Vivek Srivastav, what would you tell millions like Dushyant Sridhar? Answer him.
Yeah. No, it's all this is a rhetoric and all this is a planning by the central government.
Rhetoric, this report is a rhetoric. Vivek Srivastav, 1 minute. How can you be so dismissive? 1 minute. This report is a rhetoric. This report that says fish oil, beef tallow, lard, pig fat is a rhetoric for you.
I give you a choice. I give you a choice. I give you a choice. You want me to discuss the report? Or you want me to discuss the intention? I'm ready for both.
I want you to discuss everything. Don't dismiss the report. Don't say all this is rhetoric. I am not going to Vivek Srivastav. Let me make one thing clear. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. 1 minute. Vivek Srivastav, 1 minute, sir. I have regards for you. 1 minute.
Yes.
People are not called on the show to fill windows.
Yes.
Like we have 6 windows plus the anchor. I can, if you're not very happy to participate, it's okay. I am not going to allow anyone to mock the faith of millions.
Nobody has mocked anybody's faith. You should also not allow people to spread religious hatred on your channel. By Hindu faith, Hindu faith, Hindu faith. Hindus are in danger, Hindu faith is in danger. Who is the accused? What is the religion of the accused? Will somebody disclose it? Is it a Muslim? Is it a Christian?
This is not about
Which
the
company
religion of the
was
accused.
supplying? Do you have the details?
Vivek Srivastava, is everything okay? How's the religion of the accused? One minute. That is not in contention. It's about sir, this is about contamination,
Yeah, so let me
not
speak.
religion of
Let
the
me
accused.
speak. Let
You've
me
got
speak,
it
sir.
wrong.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. So then why is Mr. Sai Deepak ranting on Hinduism, Hindu temples? Arey Baba,
Yeah,
it is a
because
case of
this-
corruption. The people who are corrupt could also be Hindus. They could be Hindu owners of the businesses which are supplying the ghee and the laddus. It is a possibility. So why you are dragging a religious angle into it? It is a case of corruption if it was there. Number one. Number
I'll
two.
tell you.
Now I will discuss the report.
Okay.
S values were given by
Yeah.
NDRI.
Yeah.
I am a qualified engineer from a premier institution, sir, और मैं साइंस समझता हूँ. आपकी डिबेट में आने से पहले I have already talked to a few people. S value is not in a position to declare the constituents which were mixed in any ghee. The S values that have been given by NDRI, and this should be legally challenged. There are two more methods: ultraviolet fluorescent and butyro-refractical mode. Both are also not capable of it beyond a limit. They can tell you the degree of contamination in a sample of ghee. They cannot tell you the constituents of what has been mixed as an adulteration. So this report itself needs to be questioned, and NDRI should be brought to the book. Number one. Number two, I smell that the government of India, at the behest of the RSS, is trying to play dirty politics. They want to give the control of the temples back to the Brahmins, so that the entire collection and the funds of the temples go to a particular community.
You're crossing the line. You know, Vivek Srivastava.
That is what they want.
Vivek Srivastava, calm down, sir, calm down.
Yes.
Don't. 1 minute.
Pranesh ji, this is
One
not
minute.
acceptable.
This is not right.
Yes.
Karan, Rahul Ishwar, you know, Mr. Reddy. This is, I don't know, out of a devious design, or maybe he was preparing for something else and was suddenly asked to appear on this one. I don't know what this is. But Vivek Srivastava, you can go back and check. I did not utter the word Muslim even once. You made it about religion. I was only talking about contamination. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. And before you dismiss the report by the National Dairy Development Board that says fish oil, beef tallow, lard, which is pig fat, and you are talking about degree of contamination. So the devotees who go there, and by the way, even Muslims go there, Christians go there. And that is only to make people like you realize the importance of Tirumala. Now the question is, you are talking about the degree of contamination. It has come to this, Karan, that we will have to live with a degree of contamination. 10% is okay. Kya problem hai boss? Khalo fish oil, khalo beef, khalo.
No, Pranesh, for him it's normal, because a nation that can talk about complete eradication of Sanatan Dharma, for him this is very normal, this is very small. And Vivek Srivastava talked about corruption. Sir, kaun se corruption ki aap baat karoge? Padmanabha Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram, it's your communist government which was pulled up for corruption in siphoning of the funds of that. The Supreme Court came heavily on you. The Supreme Court ordered a 25-year audit. So you don't talk about corruption in temple. And then he said, why are they talking about Hindu? What is this Hindu? Hindu temples are under state control. Not any mosque, not any Gurudwara, not any church. So if Hindu temples are going to be under state control, you can very easily claim religion is opium of the masses. But when it comes to funds, you want to sit on these temple boards. That is the hypocrisy of this communist government. Pranesh, they are exposed today. इनको funds चाहिए हिंदू के, but they want to eradicate Sanatan Dharma. And Pranesh, I want to make a larger point here. You know, time and again we've talked about how Shah Banu judgment was reversed. Not many talk about how these Hindu temples were brought under state control by the Madras government back in 1959. Time and again, whether it is the Shirur Mutt judgment, and your viewers should know about it, there have been two judgments from the Supreme Court which have said that taking over the temples is in violation of Article 25 and 26 of the Constitution. But every single time, the governments of the day have brought in a law to overturn the Supreme Court. Today, in 44,000 temples, I'm just giving you an example of Tamil Nadu, the revenue is less than 100 crores. Just to give you perspective, in the Shiromani Guru Bandhak Prabandhak Committee, SGPC, 85 mosques have a budget of 1,000 crores.
They are siphoning of temple funds, and today we are reduced to a position where 12,000 temples can't even do a basic puja. This is the prasadam
No,
that we
forget
get.
that. Forget
So
the puja.
Hindus today have to
Vivek
understand.
Srivastava
They
has
have
the
to reclaim what
temerity,
is theirs.
audacity, gall, what have you, to talk about the degree of contamination. I mean, I am left speechless. I'm speechless. I really didn't, one doesn't prepare for this kind of an argument. Rahul Ishwar, before I go back to Deepak Reddy, what do you make of this?
Just two submissions. This is the time we should remember the Mukh Karo Mandir campaign, which was initiated by Times Now itself. Please remember, our Christian brothers have a right over their church. Our Muslim brothers have a right over their mosque. But we Hindus are left centerless, rootless, and have no authority and control over temples. This is the main issue. And what we have seen is open Brahmin bashing in national media. We Brahmins are hardly 2 or 3% of the entire Indian community and has been sattvic towards serving the Hindu cause and the temple cause. But Brahmin bashing and Brahmin phobia has always been branded as progressive, has always been branded as fashionable. And I demand there should be a sitting judge inquiring into this, because there are political parties involved. There can be mudslinging either way. There should be a sitting judge of a high court who should inquire into this. And just like my good friend Saidibek said, if they have been found wrong, any person, irrespective of their political party or community, should be brought to book. Because please remember, we go there believing that this is 100% sattvic, 100% sacred, and we accord utmost sincerity and devotion to all the prasadams.
It's okay. Vivek Srivastava will tell you that if it is 10% contaminated, it's okay to eat it, Rahul Ishwar. You are having prasadam at the end of the day. 10% contamination is okay. Now, Mr. Deepak Reddy, what would you tell those who are questioning the claims that you've made and the things mentioned in this report?
Pranesh, I need to put a few more facts so that everybody understands what exactly has happened. Jagan Mohan Reddy, after he became the chief minister, both the chairmen were his uncle and his close relative. And that's where the attack on this institution has started. And on n number of occasions, whenever Jagan Mohan Reddy was going to the temple, we demanded that he needs to sign on a declaration that he respects the Lord, being a non-Hindu, which he never bothered to do. And they wanted to sell the temple lands. We opposed that. Then they siphoned off the temple money for government projects, which we have opposed that. And on corruption, there were n number of different allegations which came up. So on this particular issue also, the daily requirement is about 15,000 kgs. So can't you check the background whether the people, the traders, do they really have the capacity to supply that kind of a volumes? Nothing. Purely for economic reasons, they didn't bother to even do the basic checking. So looking at the background,
that's a big charge, Mr. Reddy. That's a big charge. Let Konda Rajiv Gandhi respond to that specific charge.
Excuse me, I would like to respond on the charges of Deepak Reddy.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. Before what he is stating that YS Jagan Mohan Reddy, as a chief minister, he started attacking the TTD. It was completely wrong and a false allegation. Why? Because I would like to tell a few points what we did in Tirumala in our regime. See, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, first puja or first entrance should be given to the Yadav community. So that was Gollala Sannidhanam, they will say that. And that was brought into the practice again under the leadership of Jagan Mohan Reddy as a chief minister, number one. Coming to the number two, today the present chief minister Chandrababu Naidu conducted black magic activities at Vijayawada Ammavari Devasthanam, which is well known and published in many kind of newspapers at that time. So it is very clear view how Chandrababu Naidu behaved with Hindu temples. He is the man who killed almost 30 devotees in Pushkaras. He is the man who demolished almost 400 temples in Andhra Pradesh. This is his
Mr. Gandhi. But it's a fact that one minute. It's a fact that the uncle was appointed. You can't deny that.
No. See, what do you mean? See, uncle appointment is a Rajya Sabha member also. So is there anything in the constitution that his uncle should not be appointed? His uncle is a Hindu, he's been appointed. And he also asked Jagan Mohan Reddy, he never signed in Tirumala while visiting. You know, there is a thing, whoever the people, whichever the religion they belong, who goes to the temple by steps, there is no need for them to sign. Because as they believe in Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Swami Varu, Swami gives them such a power to climb thousands of steps. That is also there. See, we have to talk about the all facts. The thing, moreover, yes, I do accept that as a Hindu, Hinduism should be protected, and as a Hindu, other religions should be respected. That is, as an Indian, is my opinion. But coming to this political scenario, today it is almost 100 days completed for the new government. Chandrababu Naidu failed in controlling or handling floods. He failed in serving flood victims. He failed in saving steel plant. He failed in fulfilling many promises.
No, that's okay. 1 minute. This is don't list the manifesto here. 1 minute. 1 minute, Mr. Gandhi. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. This is not poll campaigning going on. 1 minute.
No.
Shouldn't Mr. Reddy also take responsibility? Should he not own up? Simple question.
No, not
should he? Yes or no?
The point right comes from my mouth. If you condemn or if you come in middle, my sentence would not be completed. You would give me a chance, right? You would give me a 30 more seconds, please.
Okay, take 30 more seconds.
I urge you to give me 30 more seconds. This is all a part of diversion politics.
Diversion.
If such kind of alterations have done before or earlier or now, definitely not only sitting judge inquiry.
No, sitting judge inquiry will happen. 1 minute, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. 1 minute, Konda Rajiv Gandhi. 1 minute, sir. Answer the question. When the suppliers were changed, he was.
I asked you for 30 seconds. You're not even letting me to speak after 3 seconds. How would my opinion to be represented in your channel? I told you, I urged you, give me 30 seconds. Our former TTD chairman, who you already quoted him as uncle as Jagan Mohan Reddy sir, he challenged openly that he, along with his family and grandsons, will come to Tirupati Devasthanam and will take oath in the name of Sri Varu, Tirupati Devasthanam, Sri Varu only. And is Chandrababu Naidu ready to do that? See, irrespective of sitting judge, TV debates or CBI inquiries, all is the one is the Almighty. So whoever believe in him should come in front of the temple and take the oath. This is an open challenge.
Okay, it's an open challenge, Mr. Reddy. This is an open challenge. What is your view on this open challenge?
Pranesh, just one word. Just one word, Pranesh. Just one word. One word. You will be shocked, and the nation is going to be shocked after looking at this video. You know what it says? This is the chairman, the uncle of Jagan Mohan Reddy. There it says Govinda, Govinda, praising the Lord. But here in this they are praising Jagan Mohan Reddy to be the Lord. Can you believe that, to the level they have taken the institution to? And Chandrababu Naidu ji is extremely serious about this issue. A detailed inquiry is ordered, and we are going to get to the root, and all the facts are going to be put in front of the people, and these people are going to go to the jail for hurting the sentiments of Hindus.
No,
sure.
You are saying that Hindu sentiment has been hurt. You have the likes of Vivek Srivastava who calls it a political rhetoric. Vivek Srivastava, had this been any other faith, would you have said the same thing, sir?
Basically a game of the RSS.
RSS?
Obviously, yes, but here it is very clear. I told you technically, I have the report with me. I know it out. This report is wrong. They cannot predict what are the constituents of the adulteration. S value is not the right method. NDRA को बोला सरकार ने, एक रिपोर्ट दे दी, मीडिया पे चल गया. This is what is happening. And then you start saying हिंदू खतरे में है. उठाओ और मंदिर को उठा के पंडित जी को दे दो. Let him take all the money home.
You know, Vivek Srivastava, 1 minute. Vivek Srivastava, leave the debate.
Yes.
I can't have this, the bashing of the devotees on this. Either you apologize or leave the debate, sir.
What?
Enough. Vivek Srivastava.
Which devotees?
No, 1 minute.
Which devotees?
Of the devotees, sir, of the devotees,
No, don't be high-handed.
the number is in millions. Vivek Srivastava, you either apologize or leave the debate. I'm sorry. I am not going on with this. Either you apologize. No. 1 minute. This tone, the tone in which.
Let me speak.
The tone, Vivek Srivastava, you apologize or you leave the debate. You apologize or leave the debate. Vivek Srivastava, sorry. You've crossed the line today. This is not the way to address an issue, something which is, as serious as this. This is about sentiments of people, sir. Vivek Srivastava, I'm not going to up your fader. If you want to apologize, yes, I will. Or you can leave the debate politely. Look, I'm not, asking you that, look, do this, do that. Simple request. Either you apologize, say I could have said what I said properly, or you leave the debate. It's a choice you make. I have made the choice. Dushyant Sridhar.
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Start with an apology.
Can I speak, Pranesh?
Please do.
I did not talk about the devotees. Now you're making me angry.
You were.
I talked about making a fool of the people by this government. by taking
You
the
were
money,
talking about
by
the
taking
devotees,
the money
Vivek
out of the
Srivastava.
state control, giving
Vivek
it to the pundits
Srivastava,
and
I
letting
do
them
this
take the
every
money.
night, sir. One
This
minute.
is what I
Vivek
was talking
Srivastava,
about.
no
If
point
you want
raising
to
your
save the
voice.
Brahmin
You
community
stand
and
exposed.
you want
Vivek
to act like a
Srivastava,
casteist and
listen,
fight for them, that is your business.
listen. Vivek Srivastava, 1 minute.
I don't stand
Vivek
exposed. You are a
Srivastava.
casteist.
Vivek
You don't
Srivastava,
want-
you can,
you don't want
you can
the
rant
peace to
on.
be
It's
of all
okay.
communities.
It's okay.
You back
I
all
will lower the
communities.
fader.
That is
You
your
want
problem.
to sit through the debate without speaking. It's okay. Dushyant Sridhar, on top of what the report already
Pranesh,
mentions, if that was not enough, you have people like Vivek Srivastava who've spoken about everything under the sun. RSS, Brahmanical patriarchy, what have you, everything else. But the degree of contamination is his main contention.
Right. Pranesh, very quickly, 3 points. See, when people want to spew venom, when Sai Deepak spoke or I spoke, we never uttered the word Christian or Muslim. You can look into the footages. But the first step to turning anti-national is turning anti-Hindu. And the first step to turning anti-Hindu is turning anti-Brahmin. And you just saw Vivek doing that. He bashing a community, bashing a religion. Point number 1. Point number 2. Pranesh, I told you 2 weeks back I was discussing the Waqf Board Tiruchendurai temple in Tamil Nadu. Last week we were discussing Ganesh Chaturthi stone pelting. This week we are discussing Tirumala Tirupati. Trust me, I'm not being negative or pessimistic. I'm just telling you no action will be taken because this is just going to become an issue and Hindu sentiments will be attacked again. And last of all, there was one person, I'm no political person, but he did say very intelligently that there are many devotees who climb the steps and for those people, they don't have to give a declaration.
Right.
Agreed. But the former Chief Minister, Jagan Mohan Reddy, used to come by the flight and helicopter. Then there was mandated that he had to give declaration. Did he give the declaration that I believe in the Hindu religion or not? That is very important because as Sai Deepak said, in the last 5 years, there has been high amount of intrusion of other religions in and around the Tirupati area, and that's factual. So that needs to be answered.
No, but the moment you ask that question, Vivek Srivastava will start ranting. Now, Rahul Ishwar, Vivek Srivastava is your dear friend. Should he apologize?
Whenever there is a controversy happens, please, I would request everyone and especially Vivek ji to understand, we devotees are hurt. We are not here to primarily play politics. We are hurt because of the fact...
There you go. Vivek Srivastava, you were asking who's hurt. Rahul Ishwar is hurt. Will you apologize to Rahul Ishwar?
You have to be sensitive.
Vivek Srivastava, will you apologize to Rahul Ishwar?
No, apologize for what? I never said anything against devotees.
But he's hurt. No, he's hurt with what you said.
No. I am not against any devotees. No. Rahul Ishwar, my dear friend, I did not speak anything against the devotees. I am simply saying that if you remove the state control over temples, one particular community will have all the funds, they will take it home, and
very
all
good,
the other
very
people,
good, very good.
they are going to left
Let's
high and
place,
dry.
let's 1 minute. Why should only temples be under state control? Vivek Srivastava, say this about, Vivek Srivastava, say this about mosques and churches. I dare you to say this. Bol dijiye.
Yes, exactly. Via the Waqf Board, sir, listen to me, which was unpopular with the sitting member parliaments at that time, all the MLAs, including the Muslim
Vivek Srivastava, I know you can't say it. You can't say it. You say you expose yourself. It takes very little.
We have a Waqf Board.
Why? What is the Waqf argument here? You talk about churches and mosques, Vivek Srivastava. Now come on. Let's all hear everyone on the panel. No, 1 minute. If you can't free Hindu temples, let's allow the government to take over churches and mosques.
Yes.
Are you for it?
It is already,
Karan,
the Waqf Board already
Karan, you see how difficult it is for
of the land, the
Vivek Srivastava to even answer a simple question on his principle, his logic.
No. Now let me answer this. Just so Vivek Srivastava knows, in the Waqf Board, amongst the governing committee, most of them, in fact 80% of them are ashrafs. Even Muslims have castes. पूरा control actually वहां पर ashrafs पे है. Hindu temples में तो नहीं है, Brahmins में. वहां पर पूरा control is with ashrafs. There your heart won't go for the Ansaris. There you will not see caste divisions. There you are all for Waqf control, which is illegal land grabbing. You are all for that. But here, where temples are starving of funds, 12,000 temples in Tamil Nadu could not do a simple puja this year. 34,000 temples have a revenue less than 10,000 per year. There you are talking about corruption. There you want to have a stranglehold over temples. So Pranesh's hypocrisy, his duplicity is exposed. But then that is what the communists stand for. They stand for hypocrisy. They've never stood for democracy. So we should not be surprised.
No. Listen to me. No, even in
इसका
Kashmir,
जवाब दीजिए, प्रिसाइज इसका जवाब दीजिएगा, इधर उधर मत जाइएगा।
इसमें RSS कहाँ से आ गया? विवेक श्रीवास्तव, when you don't have anything to answer, you talk about the RSS. What has RSS got to do? We are talking about 1 minute. Two entities, the government and places of worship of different religions. You've spoken about temple. You have a stand, which we know now. Will you take a similar stand against other faith and their places of worship? Simple question.
stand on everything. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Why not? And it is there. In Muslims, it is already there. It is a misconception, a misinformation. Waqf is the main thing which has the main money of the Muslim donations. It is already having state interference and control.
1 minute, sir.
And what is Mr. Verma trying to say?
Vivek Srivastava, sorry sir, I can't allow the viewers to, suffer this misinformation. 1 minute. I can't, sir. Please come better prepared next time. I'm sorry.